So welcome back to Tech and Gaming Reviews. Today we have a very special video for you guys today, and we are going to be discussing about why QD OLED TVs is our favorite type of TV panel out there. Now the TV that we have right behind us is the Samsung S95B QD OLED, Samsung's first ever OLED that was launched back in 2022 around this time, which as of right now, it is May 5th, 2024. Now, Samsung and Sony are the first two brands that released the new thing called QD OLED. And if you are wondering what QD OLED is, it is basically a combination of QLED and as well as OLED basically together. So you're basically going to be getting the strength of both QLED and as well as OLED, but it's also still going to have its drawbacks compared to QLEDs and regular traditional OLEDs. Now, Samsung and Sony are the only two brands that launch QD OLED, like I mentioned, and LG and as well as Sony, on the other hand, are only making regular traditional OLEDs, and Sony does make, like I mentioned, also one QD OLED. Samsung did, however, start making some regular traditional OLED panels like LG and Sony have been doing for like the last several years or so. And this is going to only include in certain sizes of like certain models that Samsung is producing. So with the Samsung S90D, as far as I remember right now, the newer 2024 S90D Samsung, if you get these three sizes, the 55-inch model, the 65-inch option, and as well as the 77-inch version, you're basically going to be getting QD OLED. But if you go with a 42-inch, a 48-inch, or the top of the line big size, which is going to be an 83-inch, you're basically going to be getting OLED panels. So, if you decide that you are getting the S90D, the newer 2024 model, not the S95D, just the S90D, then you're going to be better off to either getting the 55, 65, or 77-inch options. They are going to give you QD OLED. So, the TV, like I mentioned, behind us is the Samsung S95B from 2022. We also have the S90C. But the reason why we love QD OLED is because they actually can get brighter than regular traditional OLEDs. Now, they don't get quite as bright as something like a Samsung QLED, for an example. Like we're talking about like a Samsung QN85 series, like either the QN85C or the QN90C or even the QN95C, especially the QN95C. Those TVs are going to be a good bit way brighter than a QD OLED will personally give you. I know, I screwed up there for a second. But when it comes to regular traditional OLEDs, especially when it comes to LG's C-Series OLEDs, the QD OLEDs from Samsung are absolutely going to give you a lot brighter of a picture than compared to those types of OLEDs. And the reason being is that regular traditional OLEDs are behind a wide subpixel layout, and each individual of white subpixel is basically behind like a white screen and whatever to produce light and sort of stuff like that. Whereas a QD OLED, for an example, it's individual RGB layers under a blue subpixel layout, and that's what's going to pretty much give you like nicer, richer, brighter, insane colors. And that's why one of the reasons, I should say, I don't know why I said why, but that's one of the reasons why we prefer and we love QD OLEDs more, is because they definitely just give you some nice, real punchy, spectacular colors, contrast. And even though when we had an LG C1 and we got this TV like months later after we bought the LG C1, we like noticed that going from an LED TV to an LG C1 OLED, that the clarity was definitely a lot better because of it being an OLED, and we actually did not know that that's what is nice about owning an OLED, is the clarity is going to be better, and you're going to get a lot more sharper, cleaner image than what you would get on an LED TV. But after we got the LG C1, and then a few months later we got the S95B behind us, and then that TV was even, like, it was even nicer, because it's like, wow, this one's even cleaner than ever before. It almost feels like you're getting an 8K TV when you get a QD-OLED 4K. Like, that's just how I'll say it. Like, if you buy a QD-OLED Samsung, the clarity and sharpness that you get with it, it's almost going to make you think, dang, is this even an 8K display? Because it is so good. Now, not only that, but like I mentioned, the brightness of QLED you're getting with an OLED. So the combination of QLED and OLED with a QD OLED is that, yeah, you're going to get still really good, decent brightness, and you're going to get some nice punchy colors. And with it being an OLED, you're still getting self-emitted pixels that can turn individually off when needed. So you're going to get infinite contrast and get really nice deep black levels across the board, no matter what you're basically on. Like if you're on a 10% window of a white screen, it's not going to produce any blooming whatsoever. The contrast is just going to be great. So this is the reason why QD OLED TVs is our favorite type of TV panel out there. And the Samsung S90C, which is our other QD OLED that we have, minus the S95B, it actually, for the 65-inch, just recently had the best lowest price you could get. And honestly, for the 65-inch size, which is not massively big like a 77 or 83-inch, but it's still a pretty decent big size, that TV was on sale not too long ago for $1,500. And that, to me, is like the best deal ever for a TV. Now, there are going to be some complaints that I know people are not going to like, and that is the fact that with Sony QD OLEDs, especially the A95L, I honestly don't think that double to, anywhere from between double to triple the price is honestly really worth it, because, I mean, Sony's QD OLED, the A95L, is like, I forget, 31, 32, or even $3,300 at the moment right now, especially for the 65-inch size. I honestly don't think that the price difference from that and the S90C being around 15, and at the moment right now went back up to its normal price, $1,600. When you really look at that, it's honestly not even really worth paying double the price of the S90C for basically a Sony. And if you are a hardcore gamer, you are going to be getting less features than what you would get with basically a Sony. You're going to be getting only 2 HDMI 2.1 ports, and you're not going to be getting as many gaming features as you would with Samsung's QD OLEDs. So, QD OLEDs, the reason why they are our favorite type of TV panel out there is because they have both strengths of QLED and OLED. Like I mentioned, you're getting nice rich colors, nice high brightness, and as well as keeping an OLED to give you those nice inky blacks and infinite contrast. So, if you was debating, and if you can afford the Samsung S90C right now, while it is available for the next few more months before it is completely discontinued, definitely go ahead and get the Samsung S90C. Whether if you're just a regular TV casual person or you are a hardcore or casual gamer, you will be very, very pleased and very satisfied that you bought that television. So, QD OLED is the best TV type panel out there, and it is personally our favorite type of television out there because of all of the benefits that you get with it, and you get the most and best, prettiest picture ever. So that's going to pretty much do it for this video. So hope you liked the video. Hit the like button if you did. Also, subscribe if you are new to this channel, and we will keep you posted with more content like this going forward. And without further ado, let us know in the comment section down below if you are somebody that has a QD OLED and if you have never regretted that purchase at all, or if this helped you decide whether to get an LG traditional OLED or a Samsung QD OLED. So just let us know in the comment section down below. So rate, comment, and subscribe, and we will catch you guys on the next video.